Alright, this is a video on how to use an Excel spreadsheet, or in this case I'm using a Google spreadsheet. They're both about the same, but we're going to find the mean, the mode, the median, population standard deviation, population sample standard deviation, the min, the max, quartile 1, quartile 2, and I did forget the variance, so population variance and sample variance. So kind of all the main statistics you would ever need to find. And here's my data. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. Just threw in some numbers. So we're going to find all that information for those numbers right there, which you could probably do easily without Excel. But if you had a list of 2 or 300 different data points, this helps out a lot. So, and like I say, it works very similarly in both programs or in about any spreadsheet. So you go equals, and this is mean, so I'll just type in an M and see what I have. Okay, you got a few things, mid, max, all right, it's not there yet. Median, and so mean isn't there. So what we'll need to look at, let me show you that again. The only thing we've got is median, so we'll use that in a second. So it's average. So we'll select that top one there, the average. And it tells you off to the side what it is. It does the same in Excel. So average, and then you can either select, so I'll just select our data points this time. I clicked and selected them all. Close my parentheses and hit enter, and there's my mean or my average. Okay, so for mode equals M O D E. Yeah, there we go. So you want to be careful there. Mod is not the same as mode. Mod is another a divisibility thing. Mode is returns the most common, so pay attention to the directions, or what it is. Returns the most common value in the data set. In this case, should be no mode. I didn't list anything twice, and so we will use that one. Let me escape out of there. So equals MODE, and then this time I'll show you. You can also enter the data. The data starts on A1, and then you use a semicolon, and it goes to, or yeah, colon, I guess, and it goes to I think 9. And notice it highlights it. Nope, we went too far, so A8. And then hit enter, and notice it's got an error. So let's add maybe one more data to this thing. Let's add maybe another 5. Okay, and we'll go back here, and we'll go one more because I added a data. So A9, just to kind of show you that it works. There it is. So our mode is 5. Now, if I added that data, that means our mean needs to change. That also needs to go to A9. And there's our new mean with the 5 added in. Okay, median. We already seen that one works. So median. And we'll select that. And this time I'm just going to highlight. Close my parentheses, hit enter, and I'm sure there's quicker ways to do it. So our median is 5. Population standard deviation. So let's take a look and see what we have. I'll just start typing in standard deviation. So standard, and it's not there. Standard deviation. So equals, let's see. Oh yeah, there it is. STDEV. And we want the population. And so, you can kind of see it. ST gives you standard deviation. So here, the top one is standard deviation. It says there estimates the standard deviation based on a sample. So we want a population, which I think is this one, STDEVP. So it calculates the standard deviation on an entire population. So there we go. So we'll hit that. And again, select our data. Close our parentheses. Hit enter. Oops. And there's our population standard deviation. So for sample standard deviation, and I'm running out of room here, so let me select that. So for sample standard deviation, you go equals ST again for standard deviation. And that top one's the one we want. It estimates the sample. So sample standard deviation, A1 to A9. Hit enter, and there it is. Notice it's slightly bigger because you divide by n minus 1 on a sample standard deviation. So maybe we want to know the minimum number in our data, so equals min for minimum, and A1 to A9. Hit enter, and our minimum was 1. I think our max was 20, so equals max, and A1 to A9, and sure enough our max was 20. And then if you want your first 20, think about box and whisker plots and things like that. If you want the first quartile of your data, the first 25% of your data, you just go equals, and let's do, oh, right there I entered it, equals Q, and quartile popped up second one, and it says data and then type. So we'll enter our data first, our A1 to A9, and then we'll enter a comma, and then the type is, do we want quartile 1, 2, or 3, or 4? 0 gives us the min, 4 gives us the max, so there's another way to find min and max. So A1 to A9, comma, and we want quartile 2 or quartile 1, so we'll enter a 1 and then enter, and our first quartile is 1. This should be quartile 3. Quartile 2 is actually our median. I guess I could do it to show you that it's the same, but I'm running out of time. So equals Q for quartile, A1 to A9, comma, comma 3, and there's quartile, there's the third quartile, and hit enter, and that's 10. And then a couple others that maybe aren't as, population variance and sample variance, equals VAR, right there. Estimates the variance of a sample. We want population, so that's this one. So population variance of A1 to A9, enter, and there's your population variance, which should be your population standard deviation squared. And then you do the same for, so variance is VAR, and it's that top one, estimates the variance based on a sample, and A1 to A9, and 41, notice it's a little bigger again, sample that you divide by n minus 1, so it creates a bigger variance. And so there you have it. There is how you can let a spreadsheet calculate all the major statistical data points, or the statistical measurements, I should say, that you could ever need. And there's more. We'll definitely do more. So good luck. I hope this helps. And now some of you can complete that assignment I gave you. See you later, and have a good one.